Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here with me. Today I will be teaching you how to draw a three-dimensional city. So what you'll need is a pencil, eraser, and a piece of paper. I recommend turning your paper horizontally, the long way, so we can enjoy a very long illustration. And to make sure that you can see my lines, instead of me using my pencil, I'm trading for my marker. And that is a personal choice. And also you could choose to do that too. If you're using something such as mine, like a permanent marker, I recommend using something that you slide underneath the page that you're drawing on. So that way the marker doesn't bleed through and get all of your other pages covered a little bit. So the first thing I recommend drawing is a straight line across your page horizontally along the lower portion of your page. And with that straight line, we are going to make the road, the sidewalk, and also part of the second ground line. Let's continue. So here's the road. I'll draw this little line here for the curb, and maybe a squiggly line here for the sidewalk. Doesn't have to be perfect. Next, I will draw a diagonal line of one direction. I'm going towards the right corner of my page. You could reverse and go towards the left of your page. Again, that's your choice. I'm putting one finger in between to break up the sidewalk. And when I have enough, I will repeat and make little diagonal rectangles. This will show us the sidewalk and those sections of the putty that's put in between that makes the sections have that little space that you can hop across if you choose. And I added some speckles for the sidewalk there to look like cement. And I will add a little rectangle with diagonal lines going across from my road. When you draw the lines diagonally on the sides, it looks a little bit more three-dimensional. And it's okay if you mess up a little bit. All right, let's continue. We're going to add, here you get to choose. You could draw zigzags for grass. You could draw rolling hills. You could combine zigzags and rolling hills. Or you could add some greenery with shrubs and bushes. I'm thinking of these as bumpy azalea bushes growing in the ground here. Maybe you can add some texture on those, but you don't have to. You can get rid of anything you don't like since you are drawing in pencil. You could erase with your pencil and eraser, but for me, I am going with my lines as permanent because I'm using a permanent marker. All right, so feel free to add some more textures up close since we are still in the foreground. Things are going on here and we can see a lot, even though this view makes it look like we are standing across the side of the road on the other side. Let's continue. You could choose long and tall or a wider building that is lower to the ground and long. So you get to choose what tall or long shape you pick. Start off with one or two. After that, pull a diagonal line down from the top right or top left corner. Pull down and draw a straight line. In my case, I chose the top right corner. And as soon as you have your lines drawn, know that sometimes we make mistakes, and that's just fine. So I'm going to try to even this out and watch what's happening here. Woohoo! Even out that, and I will fill in my section with a filled in background. Notice here, guys, that what I'm doing is a gentle striping method. I'm not mashing the tip of my marker. I'm just gliding it on its side, slowly and carefully, to block in that one shadowy area of the skyscraper in the city. And I will repeat that step and block in this second building with the shadow on the same side, the right side. All right. Again, you could have flipped and drawn those buildings on the diagonal. It could have been from the opposite direction. See here. Pull down your diagonals. And those could have occurred on the left side too. See? And that one's overlapping. You only see that one. All right, let's continue. There is lots of space here. So I wanted to add another building behind. Staircase building, maybe. I like how that one's very different. Pulling that down. Touches the other building, and I want this one to be long. And all the way down to the other side. Now we get a little bit difficult. And that's okay. Things can change as we draw them. When you're drawing something and you want to color it again, I recommend coloring everything but the little edge. So we can see that that was the second building there. You see how I colored around but left some white space? If you have buildings that touch and you're filling in one side, I highly recommend doing that too. But again, it's a personal choice that you don't have to do. All right, this one's going to be a building like this. Here we go, 2 diagonals, filling that in. And you could choose different shapes entirely. You don't have to have nearly as many buildings as I do in mine. So have fun with this process, friends, and see what can happen. Again, maybe there's something that you don't like. You can always change it or make it look different, okay? I don't like how this one looks slanted, so I'm going to turn this into a flagpole. And make my building stop here. See, I didn't like how that was looking. So I changed my mind on what the building structure looked like, because you can always edit as you go. Whoa, I like that better now. Let me add a little more detail. The top of this building. And this one will have a different look. This one will have a sign. This one will have a few windows. This shows all the different shops. This flag is flowing in the wind. This building is going to have a long windows. And it's okay if it looks more like a comic book style. When you stylize your lines and you make them look a little different or unusual, they can be quite exciting. It can look really neat. All right, so come along with me. Let's see what else we can add. I'm going to add some little horizontal lines throughout this illustration to make it look like bricks from farther away. Bricks peeking out from the walls of the building. And this reminds me of curtains in some windows. And I'll choose some to have curtains, some to have blinds. All over the place in this apartment building. Some just have windows that look like that. We'll see what we can do. There's a little shadow of a person in the top corner there. Another person peering out the window here. Two people in this building here talking to each other. Why, hello there. See how much fun it can be to draw small details and small clues with your lines? Okay. And again, sometimes we don't like what we draw at first, so that's why we can perfect it with different lines and layers. And as I build, I enjoy my drawings even more. This is part of that building behind. Let's see how we can make it look farther away. Little horizontal lines, not bricks this time. These are the windows in the distance. That's that building back there. The idea of stars on the flag. Little windows with horizontals. And voila, building achieved. What else can we do? What if this was part of a shopping mall and there was a banner on the front of it? So this is a banner on the shopping mall. Another detailed clue. 50% off. Woohoo! So a big sale's going on there today. And that building's made with bricks. Let me add some bricks all over this building. Again, try to make them all a little bit different when you can so they don't look like cookie cutter bricks, like all drawn the exact same. All right. And so this building here is going to have a little awning, little cover for the top of it on two pillars. And this will have some doors in the distance. This is the theater, the movie theater. And I'm going to put movies now playing. These are the options at the movie theater. And this one I want to draw just like that with not much detail. Just a little mark here or there to give the illusion that it's made out of something showing textures. All right, the space in between, that's my favorite part. That's where I'm going to tell the time of day. I'm going to add some clouds. Even behind, as the clouds go close to the ground line, that shows the distance. Clouds up high, clouds behind certain buildings peeking out from the others, and some fresh open space for the eye to rest. It's always great to have a little break in your drawing so your eye can just go to that spot and breathe for a few minutes, some clean fresh paper before continuing to look and see what other ideas are showing through. I added my sun. My favorite part and the final part is more doors near the front that can be a slight bit bigger from the ones in the distance. But again, we're still on this other side of the road, so we want to make sure that the viewer has the idea of perspective. And again, perspective is a way to get your eye to see something as three-dimensional instead of two-dimensional, which is flat with our angles and our lines. Thank you so much for coming to watch this tutorial. I can't wait to see what cities you make. And if you're interested in sharing your masterpiece with me, you can always email me at aedesoto@fcpsschools.net. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. Bye for now.